Oxide Station, considered to be one of CTR's most difficult levels, has claimed the lives of many speedruns throughout the years. In this video I'm going to be explaining a speedrun approach to this track using Dingodile or Tiny, and how best to take the shortcuts, as well as things to know, look out for, and just general driving advice. So to start, we're going to focus on the first of 3 shortcuts in the track. Starting in 8th place, you want to aim for this first turbo pad on your right. When you reach the turbo pad, do a rightward facing drift and do 2 full mini turbos. Try and veer towards this bumper crate on the left, although not essential, it does give you an extra bit of speed. Once your drift chain ends, stick to this left hand wall. Before I explain a technique on driving onto the wall, I'm going to quickly explain which 2 sections you can aim for. The quickest part of the wall is the right side, where it is much lighter. This part of the wall is steeper, however you'll get a better corner, and if timed right you will land perfectly on the wall in order to execute the shortcut. If you prefer to aim for consistency and safety, you can aim for the darker left side of the wall. There's a higher chance you'll drive onto here, however you do lose a little bit of time going for this method. Both sections on the wall rely on the exact same technique, it's just the timing of your turning which will be different. The crucial part about landing on this wall safely is how much speed we have as we approach it. If you have too much speed, as you drive on the wall you will overshoot and fall off the other side. Not enough speed and you won't even get on the wall at all. In order to control our speed, we must brake as we approach the wall. Let go of X and tap brake about 2/3 across the track. While doing this, you also want to be holding down right as you approach the wall. If done right, your kart will slide up this wall and you'll be facing right, ready to jump down to the track below. As your kart slides up the wall, you want to hold X and right so that your kart will move immediately as you land. You want to time an R1 input to do a jump off the wall and jump to the track below. While in the air, you can do a very quick U-turn in order to avoid colliding with this wall on the left. Where you land after this shortcut is essential in how you take the next shortcut. As you can see at the bottom left, I have set a checkpoint with the value of 12266. The game will allow me to skip up to 25% of the track ahead of this checkpoint value, so the further away from the turbo pad you land, the more track you can skip ahead when you do the second part of this shortcut. As you land, you should have a landing boost. Use this speed to drive forward to the turbo pad. Depending on where you land can also determine the kind of drift you want to do here. In my demonstration I have enough speed and a good angle that I can start my drift late, however you can also drift slightly before this turbo pad to make sure you have enough reserves. Here I position my car as right as I possibly can. Not only am I going to take a very good corner up the spiral, but this tight line also avoids all of the CPU players. I start another drift chain on this boost pad, which enables me to keep this tight line, avoiding the CPU as I do 3 MTs backwards up the spiral. We will now approach the wall we skipped at the start of the track, however in this time we're going to ride that wall and skip further ahead. You want to position your kart just left of this seam in the wall where the light and dark segments meet. Once you are close to the wall, you want to press and hold R1. This will give you a jump onto the wall. It's important that you hold R1 so that when you land on the wall, you will land in a short drift. This helps keep your line right so that you don't fall off the left side. This also positions your kart well to cut as much corner as you possibly can when you jump off this part of the wall. You want to time a jump so that you jump off the wall and then do a rightward U-turn to land on the track below. Depending how well you did the first shortcut determines how much corner you can cut here without the game respawning you. The more you practice, the more you'll get an instinct of how far you can land with your setup, so I know that I can land here without the game picking me up. As soon as we land from this second shortcut, we're confronted with the third and final shortcut of the track. There are 2 distinct approaches to this shortcut. One of them is more riskier than the other, and I will demonstrate the riskier version first. Once you land, drive forward onto the turbo pad. As soon as you touch the turbo pad, do a froggy, and on the second jump, U-turn towards the left in order to take the shortcut. This froggy gives you a little bit extra speed as you take the shortcut, however if you would prefer a bit more consistency, then simply drive over the turbo pad and do a single U-turn jump to the left. I'll also take the time to demonstrate a backup strat for this shortcut if you do fail to make the jump. Simply drive towards this ramp and then U-turn to the left. you can land on this segment of wall and then jump down to the track below. Back to a successful shortcut, once you land you want to do a drift facing right and do a full mini turbo. Because you did a jump which is over 150 on the speedometer at the bottom right, you will have the same speed that was awarded by a turbo pad. Once you've performed your mini turbo, frag it up this hill and try to clip the turbo pad for reserves. Drive over the first turbo pad in a sequence of 3 and aim your car towards the third turbo pad. As you approach this third turbo pad, you want to do a drift and take this corner to the right. You can fit in 2 full mini turbos facing right, and then you want to approach this next corner where you want to hug the left wall as possible and do 3 mini turbos. You'll notice on the speedometer as I hit the bottom of this hill my speed increases. You can get a very minor speed ghost with Dingo Dial using this tech, which we'll use to froggy up the hill. You can do a froggy here if you have enough speed, alternatively you can just either do a drift or just keep driving like I do. As you approach the end of this segment you want to drift towards the right and do a full mini turbo, and then drift to the left and hit this turbo pad. As this corner is quite tight to take as Dingo Dial, you may prefer to do short mini turbos in order to cut your corner as much as you can. Just be careful, as if you do short mini turbos then you'll have less reserves for the end of the track and you might run out. You want to frag this hill as you might have a little bit of a speed ghost, and then do a drift towards the finish line and finish your lap. Fortunately, laps 2 and 3 play out identically, with the slight difference that you already have speed as you enter them, but all the techniques covered in lap 1 are the same. As far as lap times are concerned, you want to aim to sub 40 seconds, that would be considered a good consistent lap. However, if you play really well, you can get a 38-second lap. So that covers the basics of Oxide Station. I hope you found this video useful, but if you do have any questions, make sure to leave a comment below. I'll also leave the CTR Time Trial Discord link in my description, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.